All right, we are live for the 40th episode of the
Let's Go podcast. We are back. Hope everyone had a amazing yontif. We are back fresh off the plane for me from Florida, and what a way to welcome us back with none other than captain of CBS, Sach Feldberg, Mr. Feldberg, joining us. Mr. Feldberg is not only a captain of a softball team in the Titan Fall League.
If you can call Steve and Glenn, you can call me Sach.
Yeah,
Definitely
but
not Mr. Feldberg.
Yeah, but Sach, you have more of a. I don't insult.
What? He has more of an aged persona about him, huh?
No, nothing to do with age. Nothing to do with age. I'm saying more of like a. Nah, so I don't want to say that because that's not gonna be nice to Steve or Glenn. But Sach's been helping us a lot, not only by captaining a team, but also in general guiding us throughout the softball league landscape. We really appreciate it, and we're very excited. Dave, get us started.
Well, and I also have to mention that the HSL playoffs are starting tonight, and they're brought to you by Admart.com. And we're going to have a special cameo for Mr. Admart himself, Jake Byrne, after Sach leaves us in about 25 minutes. So CBS Alliance. So I've been very intrigued by this team. I've been very intrigued by your background. I've been meeting a lot of these players. Avi knows them better because he plays in the A League. So it was a lot of fun in the spring. I've played in the B League the whole time. I've been interested in getting to know a lot of the players. And in the spring, it was impossible to get anybody from the Gold Glovers on. They're the most modest, humble team. They don't like attention. They don't like any limelight.
Bunch of good guys. Nice time guys on that team. Yep.
Nice air guys. I actually knew Noah Beanstalk because I played with him and Avi in the spring the previous year, but I didn't get to know anybody. And then this guy Feldberg, who won't come on the podcast, all of a sudden he's captaining a team with Ash, Pollen, Glenn Zuckerman, Adam Hoffman. So I'm trying to figure out how you went from a nobody to a somebody is my question.
I'm still a nobody. That's it, man. I'll tell you what it is. If I want to play on these teams, I got to put them together, or else they won't include me. It's the only way. It's the only way I can get into the league.
Also, if you ask Sach who's captaining this team, he'll tell you Steve's captaining the team. So he didn't even make the jump according to himself.
That's true.
Oh, I see. I actually missed the answer because my headphones crapped out. Can you repeat it?
I think what I said is that, first of all, I'm hearing feedback. Is that from your phone?
It's my fault. Go on.
Okay, no problem. No, what I said is the only way I get to play in these teams is if I sort of volunteer to take care of it and arrange the lineups and make sure that guys are playing. Otherwise, I can't get into the league, so I'm not good enough.
So is that actually true?
Yeah.
That's not true.
Of course it's true.
He's being humble.
Humble.
So far, the only hard-hit ball from MD Applegrad in the 26 innings he's pitched so far in the fall has been Sach's bullet that ripped right through my glove at third base. So there's something right there.
Yeah, I heard you're known for hitting these moonshots, Mr. Sach.
Back in the day. Now I'm old and weak. Maybe when I was younger. You know, that's why I'm not taking part in the home run derby. I don't want to go out there and embarrass myself.
I see. So old and weak, how do you crouch behind the plate for 7 or 14 innings?
Oh, that's hours in the gym.
That right?
That's crunches, man. You do squats. You sit there, squat with weights on your shoulders, of course.
That's pretty impressive. So then what gave you this idea? So why is it called the Alliance? Who's being allied in this team?
All right. So I can tell you, we've played in the night league. I think the original night league that started out here was the Croton League. Started by Evan Blackman with Dom. The way we got connected to that is that we played in their football league in the Aviator. And then the guys who we played with said, hey, they have this night league out there. Let's go out here and let's play. And we put together a team. It was a pretty solid squad, the Lobos. And we went out there and we started playing in the night league there. We played against, Steve had a team there. I think it was the Hurricanes. Yehuda Koenig had a team. He still has a team, right? All these teams are still around. I think back when it started, we had like 8 to 10 teams in an A league, and it was pretty good. Recently, the last few years, it's dropped down to like 4 teams. As a team dropped out, a couple of teams joined back up. Avi joined with a couple of, a team, and they put together a solid squad now at night as well.
Yeah.
So when we said to go play in the fall league, my experience in these fall leagues is it's impossible to get guys, right? So if I'm going to come with my normal squad that, let's say, has 6 guys who are really good.
Who's
Then
your
another
normal
like
squad? You keep saying we. Who's we? Who's the
my
original
nor
we?
my normal squad, my original guys are the Lobos.
Who
So
are the what are the
that's
names of these
like
men?
that's Shia Weiss, Elimelech Sperling, Victor Cuss pitches for us. His son David Cuss plays shortstop. Aaron plays in that team with me. My son. I got to go through the whole thing. Archie Eichhorn actually plays with us the last couple of years. He's a great player as well. Adam and Shui played with us this past summer. He joined us. Steve joined us this past year. They weren't always on our team, but Steve's team, I guess sort of guys moved away and it sort of disbanded. So we picked those guys up over time. Again, we started out with a team. I say that was probably one of the best teams I played on. Guys who you wouldn't know: Yaakov Weekend, Yitzi Chaimowitz, Tzvi Weil, these guys. He
Tzvi
still
Weil
plays
I
with
know
us.
from. Tzvi Weil I know from.
Tzvi, I don't think you guys give Tzvi enough credit when you talk about these things. It's probably being like, I know that Steve came on here and said Dave Abish is the best softball player he ever played with. But I think as far as a pure natural talent, just, good anywhere he wants to play, I think Tzvi is at
He's
least,
better looking than Abish also.
hey, that's for you to.
By the way, Chaimowitz and Recant, I still vividly remember, and the reason why I actually do hold extremely highly of them is because when we were dominating our way through Camp Romu, and specifically this one summer we were 5-0, I have a memory still implanted in my head when they came to play us. I think Steve was playing. I forget who else on the team.
That was my team, Avi. We bought that team.
Right, I think you.
We came down. We came down with our West Park guys. We came to West Park with us. That's a place upstate, and Chaimowitz was with us then. And we figured, we're playing you guys. Let's bring down Steve. You guys couldn't touch him. You guys and
Chaimowitz, the lefty, I remember hit a bomb over the left field wall, and then Recant was very short, if I'm not mistaken. Right, he's like a shorter guy, like a smaller guy.
Yeah, I mean he's short,
whatever,
but
not very short, but he's whatever. He's not like the biggest guy in the world. He hit like a bomb, like to the forest.
He's powerful. He's
like
powerful.
A huge bomb. I think we were down. I think it was. Like,
I took you deep. I took you deep twice that game.
I think you went over the trees once, if I'm not mistaken, in the left center.
Yeah.
I think we were down. It was maybe 9-1 after the third inning maybe, and then like they pulled Steve and brought someone else, and it was like the biggest embarrassment because like it's not like we just played like we didn't just play cruddy camp teams. Like we were playing like all-star team from here and the city team from here, and so these guys come. They're all older. Like I think maybe you guys had like Chaim Ziegel's father and brother playing.
Yo played with us. Yo, when he plays good hitter.
They were like older guys, so we thought, okay, like we're a bunch of young 17-year-olds, we should have plenty, have a fun time with them. And like we're literally down, I think it was 9-0 or 9-1 after the second inning. It was one of the most humbling experiences I've ever been through. That was actually my first introduction to quote unquote A-League, 5-town softball.
So that's the big difference with you guys had. You guys were a bunch of 19, 20-year-old kids then, right? So you used right. I'm saying so you're used to playing softball. Yeah, you don't see any guys who are like pitching like Steve. It takes a while when you get into these leagues to get used to the pitching and learn how to hit, which is why even a guy, let's say like Mo Feintuch, right? When he first joined the league, yeah, he was able to hit it deep, but he wasn't the hitter he is today. He learned how to hit the pitch, and you get used to hitting these things, and now he's a great hitter, right? And he's a feared hitter in the league. But that's sort of the examples that.
Yeah, and Mo would tell you that himself. When Mo first came in, even in camp, Mo was like used to be able to kill the ball like further than anyone else. Like he'd either kill it, and then 8 out of 10 at bats will pop out, and then 1 or 2 times he'll hit a home run. Now he's got much better at hitting line drives, all fields, totally different type of hitter.
So if I understand you correctly, so you have this Lobo squad, there's a fall team, and you basically say, I'm not bringing down 6 key guys and 3 or 4 add-ons.
No, so I'll get back to that. So what happens always in the fall, again, it starts getting cold. You get Yuntif stuck in there. So, then you have the Jets play and the Giants play Monday night, and the Yankees are playing in the World Series, and it's impossible to get teams together, right? In the summer, at least guys my age, your families are upstate, your wives aren't around, you're available any night to play ball. All of a sudden here, guys have kids, they have a whole different life, they got weddings, anything that's going on. Getting together your 10 guys is impossible. So I spoke to Steve. I said, Steve, if we're going to put in a team, let's get a real team together. So we took guys that played on our summer team. Then there were some guys that Steve had on his Sunday morning team on the Bombers. And then to finish it off, we took Ash and Matt Rosenberg and Benji Horowitz from Ash's team in the summer league, the night league. So we sort of said, all right, we're combining three teams. We're taking good players from every team. Let's come up with a name. So I think ChatGPT came up with Alliance.
Wow, you needed that much brain power to come up with such a name. That's pretty amazing. There's a rumor that's what's really going on with building such a powerful team is that's how afraid you guys are of Avi Edelman's pitching.
Oh, for sure. Yeah. I mean, I think Avi. Avi, are you the ace of your team right now, or did
I was gonna
MD
say,
take you over?
funny enough, I think I might be the number 2 right now on our roster.
Right. I don't think he's.
Maybe the real question is they heard this kid, MD Applegrad, Hassan, actually getting married soon, coming into the league, facing 5 talented players for the first time in his life. They had to bulk up, and I'm actually very excited about
No,
MD.
I'll tell you what it was. I played in the Sunday morning league with the Gold Glove team, right? The way I played with them is I think Aaron joined their team. They were looking for a catcher. He asked me if I wanted to play. I generally hate playing Sunday mornings at 8 o'clock in Queens because it means I got to wake up at 6 in the morning just to get out there to play. But I figured, how many more years do I have to play with Aaron as on a team? So I joined that team. And then, you see the Bombers, and then whatever Archie's team was, the King Ventures, right? I mean, those teams were stacked, right? So the Gold Glovers were a nice team, and I think if they played in the league a little longer and they learned how to get used to it, they'd be much better. But they can't compete, right? You can't compete with that. Avi, even your team, you had a nice team there, but you really can't compete with those guys. So I told Steve, I said, if these teams are going to join the league, then we need to come with a great team, which is why I think right now there are 4 great teams in the league. And even the two teams that didn't make the playoffs, or whatever, the guys who finished 5 and 6, those are pretty solid squad. You guys put together, you guys are doing a great job rejuvenating this league and getting some new talent in there and getting new teams in there, which I think will keep guys like me and my teams coming back and staying a little longer. Whereas the last couple of summers we're sort of like, this is our last year. But I think now we're sort of like, hey, there's great competition. As long as we can still hit and run, let's try to get out there.
Yeah, I was gonna say, even like this King Venture team who went 0-6 and lost in the playing game, 5 of their 7 losses came within 2 runs, and one of their other 2 losses they got blown out by, they literally played with 2 regulars. Like they played your team, so they lost I think 3-2 on like a leap and catch by Glenn Zuckerman at first base.
Yep.
In the game, like they lost to us 7-5 and then 3-1 or something. Like they played every game close. So like even the team at the bottom of the barrel, like there were no like Bombers against I don't want to throw another team under the bus, but like no Sunday morning mercies like 15-2
correct.
3 innings.
All right, so
to answer your question, that's basically how this team came together. Because if we're going to play in the league, I'm pretty much at a stage. If I'm going to play a league, I'm going to have a chance to win.
Got it. We have about 15 minutes left. We have a lot to get to. I have a number of questions. So I have a number.
I'm not that interesting.
I have a number of questions from people. Then I have my rapid fire questions, and we also have to get into your first round matchups. We have a lot to get to. But I have a question from Steve Ball, and he wants to know what happened the last game that he played for the Lobos before returning this season.
The last game Steve played for the Lobos, if I remember.
He said he's going to forget, so I'll remind him later.
It was in the Marine Park League. If I remember, it was the championship game. Steve at that time was an outfielder for us, and he was like somewhere between a 3 and 5 hitter.
What year are we talking about?
We're probably talking 2004, maybe 2005, somewhere around there. Just to go back a little bit, Steve and Seth Fishman were the guys who really sort of like, I guess I would say taught us how to play in these leagues, right? We always played, softball with our friends. We played OBBL upstate. We joined the Marine Park League as a bunch of 20-year-olds, 21-year-old guys. Dovey Sauber, who you guys don't know, he lives in Cleveland now. He is, I know I said Swee's the best player and there's Dave Abish out there. Dovey Sauber, if he stuck around, I mean, he was the most naturally talented player that you'll see out there. And I think Steve will say the same thing if you remind him about it. So Steve and Seth played with him in the league, and Dovey brought him out to this team. The last game we played, championship game, I believe it was the top of the ninth or the bottom of the ninth, the Marine Park League. We were down a run. Our leadoff hitter, Dovey Favish, hits a triple down the line. If he didn't watch the ball, it's probably a home run. Our next hitter is up. It's I think a 2-2 count. He asks the ump for time and steps out. The pitcher throws a pitch down the middle of the plate. The ump calls strike 3. We went crazy. Ballistic. Like beyond crazy. Dovey Sauber comes up next. Dovey is a great hitter. Can hit it anywhere with power, wherever he wants. Can do anything with the baseball. He's so like crazy in his head about that strikeout call. First pitch is a pitch over his head. He hacks at it, pops it up to second base. Steve is the next hitter. Steve rips a line drive to left center that would have brought the runner home. Unfortunately, it was hit right at a guy in the outfield. Boom, we lost the game. We lost the championship.
Wow. So you
Did he get
remember
it?
What's that?
Did he get it? Was that correct?
Steve didn't tell me. Steve said he's going to forget it, and I'll remind him. But it sounds like that loss stuck with you.
I'm one of these guys who, I don't forget games or at-bats or anything like that. I'm a little crazy like that. That's it. Yeah.
Yeah. That's pretty. That's a pretty good story. So I was thinking back. You were talking about the Lobos before, so I assume that means you're also connected with the famous Chaim Silber.
Sure. Yep. Chaim's a great guy. He was. My parents were actually very close friends with him. We used to call him Uncle Lobo back in the day. Interesting story. Like all these teams that he sponsors are the Lobos all over the place. The first team he sponsored was my basketball team in 1995 in the Israel League. We won the championship. We brought him home a trophy. He was happy, and he's been sponsoring ever since.
Why did he call them the Lobos? Why was that his thing?
So if you ask him, I think he says the story goes back to 1979 or something like that. They were playing. He was playing a softball game, I think either before the Oberbail started, maybe it was a couple years earlier. And someone told him, "You're built like a lobo," or something like that, like a wolf. So they call themselves a lobo. I don't talk Yiddish, but that's his story that he told me.
Where'd you grow up?
Brooklyn, Flatbush.
And he lived there also?
He lived in Flatbush back in the day, yeah. But again, I know him through my parents, because my father knows him back when they were teenagers and when they first got married and everything like that. So, and my father played softball against him and with him for years. I played basketball with Chaim Silber and his guys and my father's guys when I was like a 20-year-old in Prospect Park.
Okay, so let's get into the matchup. Very intriguing first round matchup, Avi. Or it's actually the second round because there was a play-in game of Sach's team, CBS Alliance, versus the Webissery Black Sox. Avi, you want to walk us through it first and then get Sach's thoughts?
Yeah, I could start right by the pitching matchup. We got I think Ariel Cohen's biggest test, I would say, as a A-League pitcher is going to be tomorrow night. Ariel has been, as we all know, pretty simply dominating. If there's a stronger word, then you can use a stronger word, and dominating the B-League, Legacy League, Wednesday Night League, whatever you want to call it, throughout the last, probably I would say at least 2 years now. And even when he's been facing better competition, I think he faced you guys once, if I'm not mistaken. Sach, I think he faced you guys once. I don't know if you were there.
I wasn't there that night.
I don't think you were there, but also I think he held you guys down.
I don't think he pitched. I thought Braun? I thought the other guy pitched.
Few innings. I think he came for the last 3-4 innings. He did a good job. But I think that's the key. Ariel's definitely going to be pitching game 1. I don't know if he's pitching both. I assume Mintz is pitching game 2. He's also been pitching great, by the way. Mintz is doing a great job against higher competition.
So Ariel is getting the nod for game 1 even though Mintz has been doing so well?
I don't know. I know they're each pitching one game. So there's guaranteed to be 2 games, right? It's a best of 3. So I don't know who will have game 1 and game 2. That'll be Shmuel Rada's strategy coming into play. But I think it really starts there because if you look at the Alliance's lineup, CBS, they are it would be a disservice to call them elite. Like they're not normally talented throughout their lineup. So it really comes down to a pitcher not walking guys, knowing what they're doing, and trusting their field. Because if you don't trust your field, then you get 15 runs in the first inning. They're that good. So I think that's where it starts. From a hitting perspective, again, the Black Sox are good. They have Ari Moskovic. They have Mo Feintuch. They have guys who are very talented players. And they have some other guys also who haven't really seen much of A-League ball that are also really talented. Rafi Leiner is a powerful catcher. Dovey Olsson, also great hitter, hits the ball hard. When I faced him, when we played in the last week of the season, he must have had like 5 bullets off of me. Great pitcher. And seeing how they handle Ash and Steve, and it's going to be fun. It's going to be a lot of fun. I unfortunately won't be there, actually, because this is a story for another time. I snuck my way into Yankee Stadium for Game 4 of the World Series. I'm going to be working.
There you go.
Going to be working maintenance, collecting bottles in between innings. But I got a free field level ticket for Game 4 of the World Series, so I won't be there. But I will have. I'll make sure someone's there.
Avi, you made me strong arm my guys into playing on the World Series night. We're all waiting for your commentary on the side of the field, and then you're showing up to the World Series game.
I got a call from my friend on Thursday night. I couldn't say no. He said, "You want to come field level for free? Well, there's got to be a catch." He's like, "You got to wear a yellow vest, a green vest. It says Yankees Stadium Green Crew, and in between every half inning, you got to walk up and down the sections between the aisles."
Hold on, wait. You weren't bidding about that? You honestly working?
No, a plastic bag and a picker. We're going up and down in between sections. You pick up bottles, put it in the bag, and come back up. And then during actual gameplay, you go watch. You have a little section on top of field level behind home plate.
You see, being a commissioner of recreational Jewish sports leagues is not paying what it used to.
It's not as lucrative as I thought it was.
You know, if the Yankees lose.
Avi, if you're free on Thursday, I can use someone to come clean my house.
I have my own game Thursday. But, you know, if the Yankees lose tonight, tickets will probably drop to like $250 for a ticket, $300 maybe, according to my brother-in-law. I don't know if it's so crazy that I just get myself a seat at that point. No, like that's like I was thinking like I'm gonna be working the game. I mean, I'll be watching during gameplay, but like $300, I don't know.
All right, so Sach, have you seen this new?
And by the way, I had the opportunity to do this tonight and Wednesday night, and I only said yes to Tuesday night. So I could have done it all 3. I trust that the Sach and the boys will be able to hold the fort down without me there. These legacy teams, I need to make sure things run properly.
So, Sach, have you run into this Webissery Black Sox team yet?
So I haven't, but I know some of the guys that Avi just mentioned, and they're all really good players. You know, I think it's going to be a great matchup. If my guys pitch like they should pitch, if my guys hit like they hit, then I like our chances. But any game, any given Sunday, right?
Yeah, any given Sunday is true. Is there anybody you're worried about on that team?
Yeah, I mean, again, the guys Avi mentioned, I believe it was Mo Feintuch, right, Moskowitz, and things like that. I mean, those are real hitters. Those are legit hitters. So anytime you're playing a team with legit hitters, again, the thing about these A-leagues, especially this league now, the hitters that are there, you can have great pitching, but the hitters can hit great pitching.
So what do you see your role being as the catcher? How do you see your role?
When Ash is pitching, close my eyes and hope he hits my glove. And when Steve is pitching, just, again, Steve's a vet. He knows what he's doing out there. You just got to keep him calm. I played with Steve for a while back in Marine Park, but I didn't catch him until this year, really. So it's an learning experience to learn how to catch him and, learn how to catch Daniel and what they like and where they like to throw and the spots they like to hit, right? Some of the guys that I catch, they don't throw as hard as these guys, but they hit spots. So they want me to sit inside and, sit inside the plate, and when I'll go outside, they'll hit my glove. With Steve and Daniel, it's really, if they're on their A game, all I got to do is just try to make sure I catch a foul tip.
Got it. How do you keep Steve calm?
You don't.
You just said your job is to keep Steve calm.
I said I can try to keep him calm, but
You know what?
What I do is, I purposely drop the ball, and then, I'll walk it out slowly to him and things like that, and then he'll just get his breath and he'll calm himself down.
It's interesting because I don't know if you know, there was like a massive error in the A-League championship that cost
Steve. I heard about it.
And I've seen the highlight like 10 times, and Steve actually kept it really together. In the at least.
Well, you don't know what he said on the WhatsApp chats after that.
So that was one of the questions I got for you, and then we got to go rapid fire because we only have 5 minutes. The question I got is, do you keep it toned down on the chat now because your son is on it?
Every once in a while, I'll make sure to say out there, "Hey, Alan's on the chat," or earmuffs or something like that. So, I mean, he's 24. He's married with a kid. I don't think there's much. At least I hope there's not much out there that he needs earmuffs for at this point.
How old were you when you got married, Sach?
I was a month away from 21.
A little kid. Yep. All right, you ready for You ready for rapid fire?
Let's do it.
All right, so the way this works is you're not really allowed to think. You have to just give the gut instinctual response.
I'll do
All
my
right.
best, but I don't want to put any bulletin board material out there. So
The Baltimore material will only be about your team. It'll all be about
that would be even better. I definitely want to cause some inter-team fighting the night before oh yeah, this guy sucks.
All right. Who's the best pitcher that you've caught?
Mayor Silver.
Who's the most intense player on CBS Alliance?
At this point, I mean, I would say back in the day, I was probably the most intense player. But as I've gotten older and I don't want to say matured, but I mellowed out a little bit. So I would say probably our most intense player, maybe Glenn.
Glenn. Wow, wasn't expecting that.
You should see.
Again, I'm not saying it. I'm not saying
the next one.
Okay.
Who's the most annoying about replying whether they're playing or not?
Shia Weiss.
Daniel Ash or Steve Pollen?
I'll say Steve Pollen only because he's more experienced. I can compare and contrast them if you want.
No, later. Next.
Okay.
Who do you want to see in the batter's box in a big spot on CBS Alliance? Game on the line, game 3 on the line, few men on base.
I'll take anybody in my lineup.
Would you take Glenn Zuckerman or Adam Hoffman?
You're forgetting about Matt. You're forgetting about Chia. You're forgetting about Sperling. You're forgetting about Jack Ross. You're forgetting about David Bloom. You're forgetting about Ash. I mean, you're forgetting about all these guys. You're forgetting about Chewy. You're forgetting about Chewy Hoffman, right? I mean, again, any of these guys.
I said call their lineup and lead is a disservice, Dave. That's what I was talking about.
Sach isn't very good at this game, though, Avi. I have one from Aaron. Which of your kids do you love the most?
Anyone other than Aaron.
All right, game 3. Who's pitching, Ash or Pollen?
Game 3, who's pitching? I'd have to see how game 1 and 2 went.
Who's pitching game 1?
Ash is pitching game 1, and Steve is pitching game 2.
Is there a strategy behind that, or is that just random?
I think just the general strategy is I think Daniel likes to go first, so he'll pitch first. He also probably throws a little harder than Steve, even though Steve throws pretty hard as well. So again, what worked for us in the summer, and you can see on your team a little bit too. When we had double headers, I like to throw Steve game 1 and I threw Vig Cuss game 2. The change in speeds really throws guys off, I think.
Yes, it does. My team, my Monday night team, might have scored an average of 1.5 runs off of Vig Cuss in the 25 games he played him. It's the most frustrating thing because he throws nowhere.
A guy like Vig Cuss growing up threw hard, probably as hard as Steve back in the day. But he learned as he got a little older, he slowed down his pitching a lot, and he hit spots.
Yeah.
So.
All right, I'm out of material, and Sach has to go in a minute. Avi, anything else, Sach? Maybe we should get predictions from Sach.
Yeah, I'm down for some.
I mean, I feel bad that this is probably a pretty boring podcast for anybody who's going to listen to it, and you guys were hounding me since May or something like that to jump on it.
People wanted to hear. They wanted to hear.
I didn't say anything controversial. I didn't say anything crazy. I kept myself calm. I feel like we need a part 2.
You did say you would take Steve Pollen. You did say you would take Steve Pollen over Ash in a big game. So there's something there.
Yeah, I guess only for experience.
Right.
Well, anyway, thanks so much for coming on.
All right, guys. I really appreciate getting on. I just want to tell you guys, like I mentioned earlier, you guys are doing a great thing here with these leagues. I hope you have a lot of success, and I hope you continue it for a long time, guys.
Man, we really appreciate your passion, and it's good to have people who care
HSL advisor.
That's it. Get me one of those T-shirts you guys have.
That's right.
All right, guys. Thanks a lot. Be well, guys. Take care.
Thanks.
Avi, we can stick on. Jake Byrne is going to come on in a second.
Are we live?
Yeah, we're still live. It's all right.
We haven't been live with just us since the first podcast.
Yeah, let me just tell Seth his finals and instructions.
Hello, everybody. Hope I'm entertaining you all here while Dave's on his phone.
So, Avi, your brother-in-law said
my brother-in-law,
that he'll go down to $300.
Benjamin King, BK, and Svi, they both claim, not 300, but they say if the Yankees lose tonight, there's a good chance it'll probably get to, maybe not 300, but definitely maybe in around the $400 range a ticket.
And it was over 1,000 previously.
Right now, you can get Game 4 seats for like $520.
All right. We have MrAdmart.com himself, Jacob Byrne, the official sponsor of the 2024 FallBall HSL playoffs for both the Titan and Legacy League. Look at that handsome guy.
Nice beard.
Thank you.
Instead of Admart.com on the bracket, we should just have a picture of that beautiful face, and the product will just sell itself, Jake.
Yeah,
So
I'm not growing my beard because the Bears lost on Sunday.
The Bears lost. There's a viral video, if anybody hasn't seen it, viral video going around seeing Jake Byrne's reaction to the Chicago Bears Hail Mary tip loss. Couldn't have scripted it better, right?
There's a video of it going around or just to one place. It's okay.
The video that I saw, I don't know. We could make it viral though if you with the HSL status and the marketing and ability we have to reach people. All we need is one click, and we'll have hundreds of thousands of people watching your video.
So, why don't you tell us? So I have about 8 minutes. Why don't you first tell us about Admart.com, and then we'll get into predictions. Which Jake's in a unique position for predictions because he played a bunch of games in both. One of the few players who played a bunch of games in both the Legacy and the Titan League, which is tough to do because some of the nights overlap.
And by the way, Jake, I mean, I'm not the captain, but Jake has not been ruled out yet for Thursday night's playoffs.
Look at
that. Our regular catcher is still pending. So
Okay.
I don't make decisions around here, but we'll see.
Okay. So dropping a commercial Admart is a marketplace to buy and sell sponsorship space, collab space, any type of space where a brand can have exposure. So for the Frank the Tank thing, it happened to be very useful, and I think for other brands it can be very useful as well to make it more organic. Just a little conversation about the brand, and yeah, that's a little bit more about Admart. And we're
I
hoping
think I can do a better job explaining it, Jake. So, like, the Frank the Tank thing is the following. Meal Mart as a product, they're looking to sell hot dogs. And they say, where would be a good opportunity for us to sell those hot dogs? And if HSL puts out their podcast on Admart.com.
they list it as an ad space on Admart.com.
Right, and they say, we have
Mm-hmm.
I don't know what Excella guys need. We'll have to ask Herenstein or something. But that might be a unique opportunity for them to sell that product in that ad space.
Bingo.
So they're really bingo. So I should really be a spokesman for Admart.com.
Maybe I'll hire you.
Well, I'm already an employee of Addictive Ads. So we appreciate the sponsorship, and we're hoping people put on.
Jake, we really do. And by the way, you should know Jake Byrne also. I'm saying once you're on Addictive Ads, like Jake's been a tremendous help for the HSL, really from the beginning, and we really sincerely appreciate it, Jake. We really do.
Yeah.
In the beginning, it's always harder, when you're new and you're not at the levels of leagues that we won't say on air. It's much harder to get companies to trust you because a lot of it is, hopefully a lot of it is marketing, but more of it was really being in it from the beginning and growing with the league organization. We really appreciate your, beside for obviously, the business you're giving us, but also the ride you're taking with us. It really means a lot, and we thank you very much.
No problem.
Here's the thing, though. Jake is a marketing genius. He took Addictive Ads from 0 to $1 million in like 2 years. So could be obvious that we're really being taken advantage of in a way that we're not really
sure.
aware.
Not really sure about how I'm taking advantage of you, but somehow I am, right?
Right. Even Jake doesn't know how he's taking advantage of us. That's how amazing he is.
or that's behind his poker face. So let's get down to matchups. So let's go through the legacy bracket first. Let's go. And one other thing, Jake's sponsorship also actually made the extra games in the Titan League,
the Titan Championship, and in the Legacy, in the Titan semis and the Legacy Championship. Yeah,
because people don't realize how expensive it is to run these games, especially at night.
Yeah,
it's prohibitively expensive. So we really appreciate it, and everybody's gonna have a great time.
Yeah.
So let's go through the legacy bracket first. Let's get Jake. You want Avi to walk you through the predictions, and
Let's do it.
Avi, why don't you walk Jake through the matchups, and Jake will
Sure.
give his prediction,
Well,
and then
let's
Avi,
start.
after Jake is done, I'm gonna walk you through them, Avi, and I want to get your thoughts for each
Sure.
series.
So let's start right now tonight. We got big games going on. I'm actually super excited. We got the Robins. Ariel Cohen and the Robins. Ariel claims his roster is weak, but I think Ariel always claims his roster is weak. Going up against the Illuminate ABA Syrian Sensations, plus DG, your host right here, David Gottlieb. And the winner will play Esquisito, wildcard team who dominated the Legacy League. Jake, who is your pick? Robins versus Illuminate? And then give me your pick of the winner of that game versus the Esquisito Raging Bulls. And give us a little reason also. We need some little content here. We can't just have a random pick. I want to know why.
Sure. Give me David Gottlieb's team, the Syrian Sensations. They have a great outfield. They have a good hitting. Your pitcher, Kaz, has been hitting the ball very well since the beginning of the year. And I don't really know if he hits the ball well usually, but he's been hitting the wall. And also you have that mountain man guy. Your short center who's like 6'7" and be playing for the Yankees right now. Maybe doing better than Aaron Judge. But yeah, that's what we're doing. Hopefully David Gottlieb Syrian Sensations win 17-0.
How much? What's the score? 17.
Might be 17-0, but I'm kidding it. My prediction
Give us
is
a score, Jake. Give us a score.
My prediction is 5-2.
5-2. I'm going to bring up on the broadcast. Then they'll be moving on to play the Raging Bulls. The Raging Bulls. You know what the Raging Bulls are? You're familiar with them, Jake? You guys played them, right?
They were pretty good. They beat us.
Who do you think's taking that home and going to the championship?
Raging Bulls versus that would be the Syrian Sensations then.
Yep, tonight, 9:30 if they win.
So give me the Raging Bulls. They've had a good year. Yeah, give me the Raging Bulls 4-2.
4-2. All right, two close games. And then on Wednesday, we got two more matchups in the Legacy League. We got the Precision Riders, who actually fell out of a bye the last week of the season, and they're playing against Thank You Hashem, full of the celebrities, Mendy Warsh, Ellie Dax. Got a lot of heavy hitters in that team. Who do you think's winning that game?
Am I allowed to not say Thank You Hashem's going to win? I think that sounds kind of anti-Semitic. So give me Thank You Hashem 5.
That's going to be a tough one because precision writing, we had this guy on, Joe Petty is his nickname, Yossi Eisenberg, and he thinks they're going to win the whole show. So that would be oh no, that's Hab Construction. I made a mistake, and Avi, we lost Avi. Avi, who's precision writing? Avi, who's precision writing? I'm mixing it up.
I'm back. You hear me? Precision Writers. That's Yankee Hershkowitz.
Who's
Yankee Hershkowitz.
Oh, that's Hershkowitz. Okay, so Thank You Hashem gonna lose. They're gonna lose to precision writing. You said, Jake.
Thank You Hashem's going to win.
All right, and then round 2, you have Hab Construction versus the winner.
Hab Construction's the team that we played, we lost to, I think. I think they win 6-1. Hab versus Raging Bulls.
No, that would be versus the winner of Thank You Hashem versus precision writing.
No, he has Hab winning.
Hab beats Thank You Hashem.
Hab beats Thank You Hashem. Okay, now let's move into the Titan League because I got to jump off in 2. A team that you know well is going to be playing a best of 3. CTC, MS Motors quite well. Avi, you're coming in and out. All right, so Jake, we have MS Motors, which you're playoff eligible for, playing CTC in a best of 3.
Motors sweeps.
Wow. Okay.
And I don't know the scores. I don't know the other team well enough.
And the other matchup, we have CBS Alliance, which is you played against Steve Pollin's squad, versus the Mystery Black Sox, which is Shmuel Rada's team, which Shmuel hasn't really played a game for this season.
Did MS Motors lose? What's it called?
To Rada? I think they split.
Pollen.
I don't know. I don't know.
Rada. I like how they came in from Stupid Sirens. Came in from Legacy area winning. So I like that. Be Rada. Maybe if he's anything like Aaron Judge, we won't find him. But no problem, guys. I'm gonna hire